Well, hey y'all, Six Gun Slinging here with another knife review. This time we are going to be doing a little review on a little Stockman, actually a medium Stockman, for Saturday Stockman Stampede. I believe my new friend Terry over at Terry's Knives and Man Stuff started this tag, and so I thought I'd jump in on the fun. And what we're going to go with is a case medium Stockman and 6.5 Bonestage. It's kind of a weird name, but that's what Case calls it. But it is, it's bone handles that kind of look like stag. They do the jigging pattern and die pattern, and I think they did a pretty good job. This is the medium Stockman, serpentine Stockman with rounded bolsters. I have large Stockman that has the squared bolsters. You can get them either way. But that's a large one. This is a medium. I really love my Case large Stockman, but this medium size really is, I think, the perfect EDC size. Not too small, not too big, just kind of the Goldilocks of the knives. Anyway, it has a very traditional set of blades. You get kind of Cases. They're kind of their proprietary shape. That is a California clip, I believe they call that. That's for your main blade. We'll check out the snap here. Of course, no half stops, because traditionally Stockman doesn't have half stops, but there's your little snap. And I would say the opening on this knife, the pull weight, would be probably about a 5.5, not quite a 6. And what that pull weight means is, the amount of effort it takes to open a blade, going from 0, meaning it flops open, to 10 being hard, and it's about a 5.5. 5.5. This is the sheep's foot blade, which is also very traditional. Very good utilitarian blade. If you're trying to preserve all your other blades, you can use that for all your slicing and, whatever tasks that you have. And we'll go to the last blade here, which is the, good snap there, it's going to be the spade blade. Now, traditionally, on a Stockman pattern, you'll have 2 blades, and they're the short blades, the sheep's foot and the spade blade that'll share a spring. And then, of course, your main blade will have its own spring. There's a little bit of blade rub present, and, very faint, but, when you open it, and I think I showed in another video, there's a way to avoid that blade rub, but I wouldn't do it. Because those 2 blades share a spring, it's always better, even if you have a little blade rub, to open one blade at a time. And, what I mean by that is if you're going to open and use your sheep's foot, use it. If you're going to open your spade blade, just open it and use it. And where they put the pulls on the blade, when you mash in on it, as my grandpa used to say, you're kind of pushing it into another blade. Like if they had it over here somewhere, you would be pulling against it, away from the blade. But just by design of the knife, and actually being able to get to those pulls to open the knife, you're going to have a little blade rub. I think you can barely see it on that blade, if I can get it in focus here. Just a tiny little bit of blade rub. This sheep's foot blade has a pretty large kick, and what a kick is, that's this little piece of metal here, and when you close the knife, that kick determines how much it's going to stick up out of the knife. And the reason that is so that they designed it so you'll be able to grab each blade, and it's not sunk down in there where you can't grab them. And I think at least for me, they left the kick a little bit high on this knife, on the sheep's foot blade. That's all right. It's just, some guys will actually adjust the kick themselves. They get a little jeweler's file out, but I am not. I'm just going to leave this knife exactly how it is. Let me give you a look around. Once again, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. They say Case quality is slipping. I say they're doing a pretty good job. They don't pin in their shields. I talked about that before, but the the shield here, they used to pin it in, and now it's just glued. But anytime they pin in a shield, even a lot of custom knife makers don't do that. And they used to pin in the covers. That's what this beautiful natural material is called, and they would pin them in as well as keep them in with these pins. They would have separate pins that they used, and these little pins are designed to keep it in place. You have a pin here and a pin here, and they're machined in, and then they ground them down when they're polishing off this bone material. And this is like your little pivot pin for the springs to rock on. I think that Case does a pretty good job. Let's get you up close so you can see the transitions there. And what I mean by transitions and stuff, pretty simple term, but it just means, how the bone turns into this bolster. How smooth is it? How good a job did they do polishing? And when you're buying, if you're new to pocket knives, when you're buying a pocket knife, if I can get it to focus here, you want to make sure there's no gaps between the spring and the brass frame and the bone and the bolsters. You want everything just to match up real nicely. On some blades, you want really good centering. You're not going to get perfect centering on a Stockman knife. You can get good centering, but not perfect. It is a pocket knife. Some people, they're collectors. That's fine, but this is a pocket knife. It's meant to use. Throw in your pocket and use it, and it wasn't meant to be perfect. Nothing really is. But anyhow, this is just a quick look at the 6.5 Bonestage. I think the model is 6.5318, and you can find that on the sheepsfoot blade, actually, if we look here, and it'll tell you. And the 6.5 obviously is for the covers. This is done in cases, you see that SS for stainless steel. It's done what they call their True Sharp stainless steel. I prefer chrome vanadium, but that's okay. I like their stainless too. And I referenced it in another video, but there's been tests done to where they had a guy cut rope and measure the sharpness of the case's True Sharp steel versus chrome vanadium, and found that there was virtually no difference. Anyway, not going to do a super detailed long review other than to say this is a great knife if you're thinking about getting one. To me, it's very pleasing to look at and to hold. I still, my Case large Stockman, I did a video on it if you care to go back and look at it. It's still my favorite. It hits all the buttons for me. But this knife is pretty good too, and I haven't carried this one a lot yet. There's no reason. We all just have, when we're reaching in the drawer, we all have our preferences. And I used to say I didn't like trappers, but really when I'm grabbing for a go-to knife, I often find myself either carrying a large Stockman or a trapper, and which is weird because I used to say I never liked them. But my preferred pattern definitely is the Stockman, and this little guy is this guy's great. I'll give you one quick look around here. Look at the jigging pattern. That 6.5 Bonestage is really nice. See, they're trying to mimic. Stag, and they do a pretty good job. Anyway, it won't be a long video. I just kind of wanted to give you a look at it. If you're interested, check out Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. Kind of an interesting name, but he's a real good guy. He's a Southern guy, and he's always using his knife to eat grits and biscuits, and kind of an entertaining dude. So anyway, y'all stop by. I think he's got a crazy accent, but then I've been told by my English friends that I've met on here that I have a crazy accent, which I don't think I have, but I guess I do. I'm in West Texas. Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. I'm not sure. I think he's in Georgia or somewhere. Anyway, there's some guys that I've made friends with on here too, and they're all Southern boys. I think a guy named Big E's Knives. He's out there in Kentucky, and I think those guys have accents. I think I just sound like an American. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just teasing. Hey, but thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for checking this video out. If you want to, I'd appreciate you liking and subscribing. And leave down below what knife you're carrying and how you feel about the Case Stockman. But this has been Stockman Saturday, Stampede, and catch y'all down the road.